Welcome back. It's still Sunrise on Channels Television, and we are going to focus on Sujimoto. Now, don't think about cars. Don't think about
That
vehicles.
was his first thought. When I said focus on Sujimoto, I was just thinking, okay,
And don't
is
think
there
about
another?
any Japanese.
Another
So, but we have the founder and lead partner of the company in-house. There's a group of companies which comprises of real estate, finance, and energy division. We have in the studio this morning Mr. Sujimoto, in quotes, Ogundele. Thank you so much for
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much
So
for having
how did you come about Sujimoto?
me. Sujimoto, my name is Sujibunmi Ogundele, and I had the opportunity to travel to Japan and meet a man that transformed my life. His name, coincidentally, was Sujimoto Koga. So me as Suji, and meeting a Sujimoto Koga, this man was a philosopher and became a mentor to me. And he made me understand that success is a game. And to be successful in the game of success, you must understand the rules and regulation that guides this game. And learning all these and bringing it back to Nigeria, and this ideology that I've added to me as a person is what has made me call Sujimoto. And a lot of people say motomatics, motolosophy, motivation, and different things like that.
Okay, and
Yeah.
real estate.
Real estate, absolutely, real estate. If we look at the history of real estate and we look at our country as Nigeria, when I decided to go into real estate, I made different research about real estate itself. So I traveled to Dubai. When I went to Dubai, UAE is a country that's transformed itself from the land of sands and camels into a city of marbles and towers. And I looked at it and I said to myself that this is what we can actually replicate in Nigeria and make our cities, make Lagos to start with, comparable to somewhere like Dubai in the next few years.
Yeah.
you've you're a young man.
Thank you.
You've, read some things about you. You're coming from a background that's not so well-to-do, and
Absolutely.
one will think. It was believed that you used to sit on the fence of some clubs on the island and just watch people playing, and you, oh, how I wish I could do this. So,
And now graduates
and
are
now,
having offices in Paris, in Accra, in Madrid, Dubai,
Absolutely.
Riyadh.
how did you do it?
And basically, when I was like between 6 to 9 years old, I remember that I was born in Agege, but my mother is from Okiari. And in Okiari, back in the days,
Okiari on Lagos
Okiari, Lagos
Island.
Island. And then you see babalajos moving with keke, with bicycles and collecting like local bankers, people's bankers. And I remember between that 6 to 9 years old, I saved and I was able to buy an Okada at the age of 9. Buying one Okada then made me have like 6 Okadas after like 4 or 5 years. At the age of 12 or 13, my house became the Okada bus stop. My father was very, very upset. So we had to terminate the Okada business. But this didn't terminate the entrepreneurship in me. And from there, I just believed in myself, and I believed in the power of determination. And it's driven me to where I am today. I feel very honored to actually be in front of Channels, which is one of the 9th best in Nigeria.
Thank you. And, you are a member of the Ikoyi Landlords Association with at least 7 properties listed there.
Absolutely.
What's your source of funding?
We have a lot of partners in international partners. Mainly, most of our partners come from Saudi Arabia. The Al Raji family has been. I would never be here today without the support of the Al Raji family. Being a member of Ikoyi, there's actually, let me just give a correction. There might not be any kind of membership legislation. It's just a quote, and that was made by some. But then my point is that we here in Nigeria. After moving back to Nigeria like a year ago, I understood that the banking industry have zero appetite, or almost zero appetite for real estate. So we had to look for alternative, very flexible financing. And we spoke with international partners, and they were very excited about our project, and that is why we are here today.
Okay, so where do you see your company going in the next 6 years?
In the next 6 years, we were talking about 2021. And I can tell you, out of all confidence, that Sujimoto Construction will be one of the top 5 construction companies, not only in Nigeria, but in all of Africa. mainly because we focus on only one thing. We focus on delivering value to our customers.
But when you started your construction business, your real estate business, you decided to focus on the island as a highbrow area.
Absolutely.
One would think that for one who came out from Agege and moved into, I mean, you practically walked to Ikoyi to watch people play at Ikoyi Club. One would think that, okay, now that you're here, you'll want to help transform where you came out from.
Absolutely.
So why did you choose Ikoyi?
Absolutely. You must understand that we live in an environment where it's a cash and carry system. And I had a strategy. My end strategy is to have the ability to create luxury real estate for middle market at an affordable price. But we live in Nigeria, and people here really do not understand what exactly luxury real estate looks like. And this is where we're coming. We had a choice to go to a crowded people to come from the below or to rise to the top. So we chose to go to the top and trickle down to the bottom. Eventually, I can assure you that before 2020, Sujimoto would not only provide for the high net worth individuals, but everybody would have the ability to actually have a piece of Sujimoto development.
Sujimoto construction, you say in the next 6 years, you see it's going higher. Is it just, do you just construct or you also buy buildings and all of that? And what is it that makes the business?
Okay, construction to us is it's very diverse. It's road construction, infrastructure construction, commercial constructions, developments, residential, etc. But right now we're focused on residential properties. We're focused on residential properties because we understand that in a country of about 170 million people, only 1% of our buildings can meet international standard for luxury living. This is where we're coming because we believe that we are a company and we have a lot to provide for the market. So eventually, of course, we would love to work with government because I know within myself with total conviction that we can actually do a little bit better than a lot of companies around here.
So do you build, for instance, house for mortgage and things like that?
Okay.
Do you do that?
This is one of our biggest problems, the mortgage system. Unfortunately, we don't have a very robust mortgage system in Nigeria. So, as I told you, you cannot buy a kitchen in Nigeria without cash. Of course, there have been different developments in the mortgage scheme, and the government has done their best to provide a flexible mortgage system, but it's not enough. We are 170 million people. There is a deficit of about 20 million units in Nigeria. 20 million units are like the population of Ghana, where people cannot be proud and say, yes, I own this property. So unfortunately, right now we are not doing mortgages. But come 2020, we are hoping to partner with our international partners, and where we create a very, very easy system of mortgaging where anybody have access to
So
properties.
you're implying that the Nigerian environment hasn't been favorable to your business?
It has been favorable in terms of our clients. Of course, our clients are very happy with us. Don't forget, we provide luxury real estate and true luxury. But my point is, in a country with so much deficit, and the system has not been able to create, the system has not yet created a flexible mortgage system for the middle class or for people that, if you go to the UK or America, for example, if I'm looking for a house of £100,000 with less than £10,000, I should have access to it. But unfortunately, we're developing, country. But then I think we'll get there.
Okay, and now let's talk about. You started. What were the challenges, or what are still the challenges, the setbacks?
As I said, our major challenge, the biggest challenge we have right now is the provision of flexible mortgages for people to have accessibility. For example, let's say, you come to Sujimoto, for example, and we tell you want to buy a house. This house will cost you 50 to 100 million naira, but we tell you hold your money. Our bankers will take care of you because we've done the research about you and we understand you're credit worthy, and we are able to sell to you. Until we provide a flexible system that actually is mortgage friendly, we'll still face these challenges. Other challenges, of course, anybody can just start justifying their failures based on challenges. And we as a company, I would say that we face very little challenges apart from the creating flexible mortgages for our clients.
Okay.
There's a project you're handling now in Ikoyi called Medici.
Yes.
You're smiling. So it must be
Yeah,
must be a very good project.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So beside Medici, what other I mean things you have up your sleeve?
Okay.
Oh, you should tell us about Medici because I see the
Okay.
smile. It's a wide one.
Okay.
Okay. The Medici, the inspiration
Okay,
from Medici,
Medici.
Medici in English, but Medici in Italian. The inspiration. I mean, I'm sure you're a student of history, and when you go to the 16th, 15th century of Italy, you will see that the Medici family, they are not only a prominent family, but they are a family that had strategic impact on the infrastructure and the architecture of their time and also of today. So we now brought that name and you replicated their strategy so that we can remind ourselves of the standard we are up to. And also to assure our clients that we are a company that we would not compromise when it comes to quality. When you get to Medici, I will really be happy for you to come there. So you don't take my words for it. We have people that have been ecstatic when they enter the Medici. We have competitors. People that are also into the luxury real estate. When they come to our building, they're like, "Yeah, Barikba, what's this?" That's the feelings we get from people. Yes.
So what else do you have up your sleeve besides this
And
project?
up my sleeve, we have Cosimo. When I think about Cosimo, I get very excited because for the first time in Nigeria, we'll have a building that can compete with anywhere in the world.
No,
Cosimo,
that's practically what you just said about the Medici.
no, Medici is just a pinch of what we're about to do. We're about to blow
So
people's mind.
what will be in this building that you
Okay,
want to
in the building,
blow my minds with?
what we have is that number one, it's the interior architecture will be designed by Philip Stark. Philip Stark is the best architect in the world.
Why do you have
Secondly,
to go outside when we also have
because
architects here?
yes, we have a lot of architects here, but unfortunately, we want to represent luxury. We want to equate our brand and collaborate with other brands, international brands, because we don't want to compete with local market. We want to set a standard for ourselves with international market, and that's why we've gone to Philips Stark, and it's not come to us cheap. Don't forget, the Nigerian people, they've refused to follow mediocrity because they've been sold a lot of mediocrity. 500 million pounds in between the year of 2008 and 2012 was invested in the United Kingdom real estate market. Why do you think the investors are going to UK? Because unfortunately, the developers around here, they've not been able to feed that appetite.
We can see on the screen right now. Is this some of your projects?
Yes, that is the Cosimo. That is Cosimo coming up. The Cosimo will be up, and it's going to be it's going to be a building that will compete with international standard.
Yeah. Okay. So when you put up this building,
Is it a hotel?
Is it for
No,
sale or
it's for sale.
apartments?
It's going to be for sale, but there are 2, 3, 4-bedroom furnished apartment, furnished to the teeth, and people would have the opportunity not only enjoy the capital investment but also to enjoy rents. In Ikoyi, for example, the rental returns is between 6 to 9%, but in Cosimo, because it's going to be managed by a top hotel management group, and they would enjoy a rental dividend of about 12 to 15%. We have a lot of expatriates in Nigeria. They come to Nigeria and they lodge into hotels. They lodge into hotels for 3 months, 6 months. Their first choice will be Cosimo, I can guarantee you.
Okay,
And
so those can come in and it will be like rent.
yes, short, very, very short lets. And for example, we have in the Cosimo, we have the Cipriani. The Cipriani is the best Italian restaurant in the world. We have them in New York, we have them in London, we have them in Milan, and you also have them in Ibiza. People would now start enjoying what they want. For a Nigerian, when he travels to New York, of course he wants to visit, of course, he wants to visit the Cipriani, he wants to visit the best restaurant. He doesn't need to go to New York anymore, because when it comes to Sujimoto and Cosimo, he would have that experience.
Sounds so interesting.
You said something about your mentor,
Yes.
Sujimoto.
Yes.
Why did you make him your sole inspiration?
Sujimoto Koga is, when I was young, like 20, 21 years old, he's passed away now, so rest in peace. Sujimoto Koga is a man that installed in me what I've not been able to experience myself. He's a man that continuously reminded me, that to achieve greatness, you must ignore the immediate gratification. You must add value to people, add value to yourself, and add value to people. This is a philosopher that made me think outside the box. Yes, you are from Nigeria and you live among Japanese people or you live among French people, but that is not a justification for failure. You must start tapping within yourself and start looking within your potentials. This man has been an inspiration to me in my life.
Okay, moving forward,
Yes,
what are your expansion plans?
To have an expansion plan, you have to have money in your pocket. And, but having said that, we are speaking with one of our very, very important partners in Saudi Arabia, which is still the Araji group. Of course, they have very, very little. They are not very encouraged about the investment in Africa, or in particular Nigeria. But little by little, they are getting to understand that for them to enter into a developing economy, Nigeria is a country you can never underestimate. So, of course, with enough resources, if I have $1 billion, I'll put everything into Nigeria. Everything, without thinking. Not Togo, not Ghana, in Nigeria. Why? Because the great opportunities we have here are enormous. So hopefully, as I told you before 2020, we hope to be one of the top 5 real estate companies, not in Nigeria, but all of Africa.
Okay, I'm sure we are winding down now,
Yes.
but as a young CEO, what has been the challenges and what advice would you give younger entrepreneurs trying to come up?
You've asked me about challenges. The challenges has been. Well, I'm not going to talk about challenges because it is an easy way out. But I'm going to talk about young entrepreneurs and young people. We have a population of 170 million people. 62% of those people are the youth. So the Nigerian people, the Nigerian youth must start living up to their potentials. If we lived in Chad, Burkina Faso, or Niger, I would understand this justification of failures. But we live in Nigeria where we have great opportunities around us here. A country where a woman, out of being a fashion designer, can rise and become the richest black woman in the world. We live in a country where, out of opportunity, a man can be given 500,000 naira, can be borrowed 500,000 naira, and turn it into $21 billion. We have opportunities in this country. And the young people right now must start living and taking advantage of those opportunities around them, discovering their own potential. This is my message to the Nigerian youth and the upcoming entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much for coming on this morning. We've been speaking with Sujimoto Sujibunmi Ogundele, the founder and lead partner of Sujimoto Group of Companies. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, man. It's very happy to have me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so we go on the final break for this morning, and it will be the home stretch. To stay with us on Sunrise.